So long as like alchemy.
All right, final matchup of the regular season between these two. Russ like, now I do what I want. Now I do what I want, right? But the story early on was Air Abrinas. Look at Saggy get blown by, and then he puts one on Jordan Bell's head top. That shit ain't right. Swaggy making everybody look bad for the second game in a row. Abrinas, it's got to be the extension. Look at this dude like he saw his first pair of tits. But meanwhile, on the other end, KD, when he's rocker stepping you and pulling up, there's nothing you can do. And he kept the Warriors afloat early on with the big first quarter. And then this is when Russ is truly at his best, right? Full speed transition all the way to the rim. Nobody does it better. How many steps from half court? I counted 3. Then KD on his pock shit, treating Melo like he's flabby and sick. Oh, don't do it to him like that. The scoop and the finish. Back and forth between these two former teammates. We got what we came to see. And then Russ gets it and go. How about 16 rebounds on the night? You're going to have the same result. You can't stop him when he has a head full of steam. But what really put him over the top in this one was if he's hitting this pull-up, there's nothing you can do. It's pick your poison. You can't let him get layups, and you got to yield that shot. Now he's in rhythm. Now the 3-ball starts to drop. Russ should have a rule. No threes in the first halves of games. Let him get going with a couple layups. KD's like, man, I'll do this shit in my sleep rocker. Splasher. It was another monster performance from Westbrook. Check the stat line. Look at him here on the offensive glass. But ultimately, he wouldn't get enough help from his co-stars while Klay and KD carried the offensive load for Golden State. And then down the stretch, they unleashed their secret weapon. Look at Damian Jones. That's at the square. Golden State gets the win. Okay, man. I'll be honest with you. When looking into this game, hearing the announcement, no Looney, no Livingston, no Iguodala, obviously no Steph Curry, I was like, oh, man. This could be an ugly game in Oklahoma City where they really needed this win, right? It doesn't matter to us. And, they were down. So, and I also heard the theory that, do we let Utah win this last game of the year? Do we let OKC win tonight in order to bump them up in the standings? And I didn't like that mindset, and I wasn't sure that the Warriors were going to subscribe to that theory. And clearly they didn't, because from the beginning of the game, you saw KD, you saw Draymond, they wanted it. The first 3 minutes of the game was like, okay, we're in for a game. They want this game. So I was excited about that. And you saw them just flip the switch defensively, right? This might have been the best defensive effort of the season. Don't hold me to that, but it's got to be up there. I got to think about it. And what stood out to me in particular was their ability to contest shots without fouling, right? The 3-point line, they just basically took it away from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Carmelo Anthony, 0 of 9 from 3-point range. Paul George, I think, was 2 of 9. And Russ got going in the second half. But this game, make no mistake about KD's offensive output in that first half. That was spectacular, and it kept us really ahead. It gave us an edge, but the defense is what won this game. And it was an effort from everybody on the roster, undermanned as it was. Klay Thompson, man, I want to point something about Klay that he doesn't get enough credit for. One of his elite traits is his conditioning, both physically and mentally. Because you ask him to guard Russell Westbrook for 30 minutes or whatever it was on this night, and then on the offensive end, not only is he taking more responsibility handling the ball, which he did well with, but when he's off ball, he was running Corey Brewer ragged through a series of 3-4 screens. Sometimes he would catch, dribble, hand it off, catch again, and shoot, and wouldn't bat an eye and didn't seem to slow down through any of it, man. So I was very happy with the way Klay performed. But let's keep it a buck, man. The real story on this game, the real excitement for you diehards was Damian Jones, right? With no Kevon Looney, I believe he has the flu. Obviously, there was no Patrick McCaw, too. I didn't even mention that, but I'm sure everybody has been updated that Pat's going to be good, man. But back to this game. So Damian Jones finds himself in the game midway through the second quarter, right? And he was a little bit jump happy, but we saw the flashes, man. There was one block where I almost spit out my drink because the dude was already at the rim. He jumped maybe 2 seconds left, got up and spiked the ball. I was like, my God. So you see the glimpses of what Golden State sees in Damian Jones. And then Zaza was awful, man. Zaza was awful. It is what it is. I think they're going to keep him on the roster for situational plays, right? Situations within the playoffs. But I don't see why Damian Jones couldn't take some of his minutes, and he did in this game, and he performed. 8 points in 13 minutes, several momentum-swinging lobs. You can see he has the catch radius of JaVale, where you don't have to be accurate. You just throw it up, he can go get it, and he's strong. Because you saw Steven Adams back down JaVale, he even backed down Zaza. But with Jones in there was none of that. So he's a very interesting combination of athleticism and strength. And I do understand that he's not there yet mentally. But that athleticism can make up for that. He's such a quick leaper. Sometimes he jumps at the wrong time. He's up in the air 2 or 3 more times, and he can still recover and defend. And Jordan Bell was absolutely outstanding. You saw him switched out on Paul George, switched out on Carmelo Anthony, and held his own all night long. So Bell absolutely looks playoff ready on the defensive end. He even hit a jump shot. I'm just very excited, man, because it's been the dog days of the season. You know the Warriors are playing for nothing but pride at this point. Oklahoma City kind of needed this game. We went in there and shut that shit down. And you saw KD, you saw playoff mode KD, right? Where, what did he go to the free throw line like 15 times? He really bought us time before our offense started going in the first quarter, where he just put his head down and went to the line. And we're going to need that in several games in these playoffs. Now, down the stretch, it got ugly. Russ got hot. Russ did Russ things. And there's no one better going downhill. When he goes downhill and gets all the way to the rim in transition, that's where he's at his best. And we saw a lot of that in the second half. Oklahoma City battled, and down the stretch it got a bit sloppy, and I was getting frustrated, but I had to check myself. I had to realize we had our 3 primary ball handlers out of this game, right? No Steph, no Iguodala, no Livingston, hell, no McCaw, right? And so that showed in those closing minutes where I don't know why you give the ball back to Draymond. You don't want Draymond shooting free throws. I know he rattled him down. But Quinn Cook, that was the most pressure-filled situation he's been in thus far with this team, and he showed up. He knocked down the 2 free throws, and he picked his spots very well. But moving forward, these final few games of the regular season, I want to see more Damian Jones, man. I've been hinting all season, is this an ace up their sleeve? Why are they holding this kid back, man? And you saw the glimpses of potential that he can be in there potentially and play when there's a small ball lineup. When Adams was out there, wasn't in there, he still played, man. So I'm excited to see that moving forward. Oklahoma City, did y'all see the mic'd up, right? They had Kerr, they had Donovan. It's very clear to me Billy Donovan has no control of that team. He has no control of that team. And until they get a coach that has some sort of system and can command the respect of Russell Westbrook and those other stars that are, who knows, the other stars that will be there next year, right? But that can command that locker room, I don't see them taking it to the next level. They'll be in the playoffs, and they'll be a fun watch and somewhat of a tough out, but that's as far as it goes. Moving forward, what do we got? A tough Indiana game on the road, New Orleans, and then the bum Suns again. Yeah, I'm taking shots because I'm out here and I can. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.